We just started. Was that microphone off?
Microphone was.
Hi everyone. I'm Dimitri, community manager. This is Matt, senior producer, and we know who he is. So today we have a stream dedicated to Main-Spessart Bahn launch for PC. We're very excited. We had a pretty stressful day at work today, but we had to move our stream from 6 to half 4 due to unforeseen circumstances, but we hope that's fine with you. You will be able to watch this stream, or anyone else in fact, will be able to watch this stream later on YouTube, so you're not really missing out on anything like that. But we have 2 scenarios today. Matt, anything you want to say?
Yeah, just first of all, can I get a quick shout out on the chat there from all the different, from Mixer, YouTube and Twitch? Can you see us? Can you hear us? Is it good? I think you should be able to hear the game burbling away in the background. Is there anything we need to worry about right now? Obviously, throughout the stream, if you feel like we're being quiet or drowned out by the game, or you'd like the game to drown us out, then say so.
Yeah, if there is at any point any problem, just let us know. Are you subjecting the Dimitri to PCB today? We will see. We will try. Yeah, we will try.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, because I went on Discord and said that we will not. But anyway, yeah. So our stream schedule is pretty simple today. We're gonna play 1 scenario and we're gonna play 1 service. So the first scenario we'll be playing is fuel exchange. So this will introduce you to banking. It is a pretty awesome scenario, I think. It's set in winter, meaning that you can enjoy the beauty of German winter, with all snow everything being covered with snow. And then we'll move on to a service. It's probably going to be a full route service, but we might adjust depending on how much time we've got. Anyway, yeah, we have a little bit of a back history for the route. Obviously, we have Matt, who knows absolutely everything. So, any questions about the route at any point, feel free to ask. So, yeah, we're about to start. Let's go into our menu. The scenario we'll be playing is fuel exchange. As I
Straight
said.
to the hardest one.
Yeah, but it's good because
it's awesome.
Teaches you how to do banking, basically. And we'll don't worry, we'll talk about banking a bit more. We'll explain you what it is, how it works in real life. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. Hopefully there will be no major issues. But yeah, PCB will not be on.
No, we're not going to run PCB on this one.
Not on this one. Yeah,
we'll do PCB on the next one.
Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah, let us know how you're. If you've got MSB, please let us know if you're enjoying it. So yeah, we're about to start. So welcome to Laufach. A large aviation fuel train is inbound with a banker locomotive due to attach to the rear.
So
let's just enjoy for a second. This isn't our locomotive, but it's one of those that we...
So this is a BR146.2.
Yes, this is the one.
And you'll notice destination boards.
Oh yes, the destination boards. So one of the features of this particular DLC is the addition of electronic dashboards. Destination boards. Yes, so they can be set manually or automatically. So we will obviously show you how it's done, but it's a pretty cool feature. Which is this one? This is
That's the 185.2 Railion livery.
Mm-hmm. Is it the updated one?
Yep, that's the new one.
That's the updated one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the new one.
Okay, so this is the train that we will be driving today. So it's obviously a freight train. Do you want to go through why do we need banking at all?
So, banking. What is banking? It's a strange word, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you're driving a train. You've got to move a bunch of freight around the country, and for a lot of the time, you don't really have any. You've got hills, but you've not got anything really steep. But occasionally, such as is on this route, you find that there is something steep. So this route features a grade between Laufach and Hagenbrücken, which has actually got a name. It's called the Spessart ramp, and it's a 2.1% grade. Lasts for about 4.5–5 kilometers, and The challenge is, how do you get a heavy train up that hill? Do you put 2 locos on the front for the entire journey? Because that feels a little bit wasteful. Or do you solve it another way? And the way they solve it, and this is done all over the world, is a process called banking. Sometimes they call them helper locomotives. There's all sorts of names for it. 1 in 48 says it, yes. So what happens is, freight train comes in, and you'll notice it's stopped. And then this is the banking locomotive, which is just sitting there waiting. It's off now. And it's going to run along. It's going to go down the line and then cross over and come back up on this line. And it will then couple up behind the loco. So we get a loco at the front of the train, which is leading, which is what we'll be driving. And then you've got a loco at the back, which is pushing. And so you end up, for the short journey, with double the amount of power, which will get you up the hill. Mm-hmm. Once you get to the top of the train, at the top of the hill, the banking locomotive runs back down and waits for the next one that it needs to push up. And it just sits there all day, push train up, run down, push train up, run down, push train up, run down. So,
yeah, it should be coming soon. Really, the main idea of this scenario, at least in the beginning, is to show you how the banking works. So it indicates we can actually climb the freight right now.
We'll just pretend we're not getting electrocuted at the minute.
I wish we could sit, crouch, I mean. Yeah, so it's coming very, very shortly. So, okay, just a little bit. Yeah, so it's coming shortly, and you will be able to see how it works from the third view. What is it? Yeah, third view. And then we will drive this whole thing. So this will take us about half an hour. Pretty much the whole scenario will be going uphill, so that's why we're using the banking locomotive. Is that what you say?
So all of the wagons on Main-Spessart Bahn are weighted as they are heavy. So there's different. If you look along the side of the wagon, oh, here comes the banker. But if you look along the side of the wagon, there's a grid. Just along the side down there, there's a grid of information.
Oh. Okay.
Printed on the side, and so you can see that as a D-class wagon, it's got 67.4 tons of load, and these wagons are set up with that plus the base weight, and you end up with a wagon which is about 100 tons each. And there's no way BR185 can get that up to 2.1% grade on its own, not with a number of them are on this train. So that's where the banker comes in. So all the wagons are set up fully loaded. Which gives you a really interesting challenge going up the hill and down the hill, because going down the hill you don't have the banker, because you've got all the brakes on all the wheels, but it takes a little bit more time for them to run. The other thing we've done with the wagons is that we have put them into what they call goods timing. Now, goods timing is used for longer, heavier trains, and it slows down the way that the air flows, so that you don't get you can keep even braking along the length of a longer train. But what you'll find is that you need, because it's a heavy train, it needs to be PZBU. So if just about every freight train in this, we're not going to be running with PZB, but if you are, it's PZBU, just about every freight train. And because it's got goods timing, you are also further limited. So PZBU would limit you to, I think, 105 kilometers an hour. If you are running with goods timing, which you are, then you're also further limited to 90 kilometers an hour. And what you'll find is if you come down the Spessart ramp and you are doing more than 90, you will never make a stop. So it's quite a challenge. You need to be really careful, really look at what you're doing. It's an awesome challenge, to be honest. It's great fun.
Yes, this is how our route looks in winter. I think it's pretty fascinating. Yeah, so we're about to get into our loco, and we'll soon be moving off. Okay, there will be obviously some setup process for it, but it will be absolutely perfect. So radio control system on.
Right, so this is not how it's done in real world. This is how it needs to be done to make it work in the game. So this is banking comm that you need to turn on. And what that does is it makes it to where the banking locomotive is now listening to what's going on in the front loco. So now when you apply power in the front, the rear one is listening, it will apply power as well, and you get double the power applied. If you want to try it just to prove the physics are working, don't switch banking comm on, and you'll find you can't get up the hill. Whereas if you turn it on, you'll find you can get up the hill. It's not easy, but you can get up the hill. So in reality, the banking locomotive wouldn't actually couple. It would just buffer up and push, and then at the top of the hill, just before the tunnel at Heikenbrücken, it would just slow down and let the train pull away. Because of the way the sim works, it does need to couple up so that the messages can be passed along. So that is an intentional deviation from the real world, but that's you still get the full benefit of having full power.
Yeah, I'm just setting up some angles for our cameras so we can switch in time and enjoy the beauty.
Now what I'm hoping is that as we cross over, there's a bridge just coming up, and I'm hoping that as we cross over there, if we are good with the camera views, we might be able to see something there as well.
Okay. Yeah, so as you can see, we're accelerating quite slowly, but thanks to our banking logo, we can actually do that. Otherwise, it would just be going backwards. But yeah, so most of the route will be with the banking locomotive helping us. But yeah, the speeds are still quite decent. So actually, on this particular route, the speeds are quite a bit higher than on Ruhr-Sieg Nord.
Up to the 160 kilometers an hour, which is the limit for PZB.
Yep.
So if we keep an eye out just down on the road over here.
What do you mean? Just
the road, just the road down there. You should be able to see moving cars.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you will notice this.
This is the last road we're going to see for quite a while, so I thought I'd mention it. But moving cars, now a thing.
Yes, we do have moving cars in this DLC. We're extremely delighted to have them here. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the camera to be in there and at the same time follow the time. Do we have a AFB?
Yeah, we do. You'd be pretty much full throttle till you get to the top.
Exactly.
So.
There's not too many options we have. Yeah, we're about to... Yeah, so as you can see, we do have cars in here. Which definitely adds to realism, I have to admit, and especially on the busy junctions. Is there a rail traffic increased as well here? Or?
So this route in service mode has a lot of rail traffic. The scenarios have got a lot of traffic just as normal. We try and put as much as we can into those. But service mode, you're I think around 360 drivable services on this railway. So it's something like 60 or 70 eastbound freight trains, 60 or 70 westbound freight trains, and about 120 passenger services. And the eastbound freight trains that are banked actually break out into lots more services. So it actually works out, I think, about 360 services in total. So there's an awful lot of rail traffic on this line.
Yeah, it is very noticeable, especially in services. I think I saw in the forums or on Discord yesterday. I won't pronounce the name of the station. One of the main ones, the
Aschaffenburg.
Aschaffenburg. I think there was a screenshot with 5 of them, with 5 locomotives, or trains at the same time, standing next to each other, pretty much, and that's in service. So, yeah. Yeah. So we have throttle to the max, and we're not really going any faster than we're already going. Although the speed limit is quite high.
We're still speeding up.
Yeah,
we're only slowly, but we're still speeding up. We'll be on the full grade of the ramp very shortly.
Yep.
What are we on? 1.9%, so we're almost at the full grade now.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the route itself?
Certainly. So the route stretches from Aschaffenburg in the west to Gmunden in the east, and it's part of the Hanau to Würzburg main line. Main-Spessart Bahn, the Main and Spessart, actually parts of that, refer to the River Main, which you'll see more on the eastern side of the route, and the Spessart woodlands, which feature quite heavily on the route. So that's where Main and Spessart comes from. So it's the River Woodlands Railway, and it's quite an old railway, one of the oldest railways in Germany, and it's super packed with freight. This is a major freight corridor, and one of the most interesting aspects of this route is this famous Spessart ramp, which is the big grade that we're going up at the moment. Now, in modern times, this 1 in 48 grade, they've actually eliminated it. As this is really interesting for us train enthusiasts.
Yeah.
It creates really interesting scenes. We can imagine these phenomenal challenges, but it's not what the real railways really want. What the real railways want is everything flat, straight,
Yep.
so that it's easy and reliable and so forth. So what they've done in reality is they've actually carved a big tunnel through from between here and Heigenbrücken, so that they don't have to do that. That makes life easy for them. But we're modelled slightly before the new high-speed line came in. So this is just the original Spessart ramp, for those that know the route. The route features, in reality, it features all manner of different traffic in addition to the freight. So there's lots of expansion possibilities that can be looked at on this route. It's going to be a really interesting route to develop. Let me see here, banking. So the other thing is that as part of the modernisation with the new tunnel, I think that opened in 2017 to smooth out the gradient, they also modernised a number of the stations. So Heigenbrücken doesn't exist where it is anymore. Heigenbrücken's been moved. It's a smaller station now, and it's moved around the line a little bit. But then you've got other stations like Patenstein and so forth, which used to be quite small, like Heigenbrücken, in terms of platforms and things. You actually had to walk across the tracks to get onto the platform back in those days. The modernised versions have got underpasses and so forth. So we've actually modelled this route. There's actually a short window when the tunnel didn't exist, the construction wasn't there, and the Platenstein and commonly old stations had received the majority of their modernisation work. And that's kind of the era that this is in. So coming up to, I believe, this is the Schwarzkopf tunnel, just west of Heigenbrücken. We're getting our indication telling us to reduce speed. So it's 70 km from this point and 40 at the next signal. One of the tricks, though, by the way, folks, when you're coming up this hill, you are going to be absolutely maxed out on your power. And Dimitri's done a good thing here. He slowed down. What happened the first time I ran this, and I've heard this from a lot of other people, so I know I'm not entirely on my own, is I didn't take the power off quick enough. And when you have this much power on the flat, this train speeds up quite rapidly. But you know what? It doesn't want to slow down. And so you end up going from struggling to keep it moving to struggling to stop it, because you need to stop it at Heigenbrücken.
Yes. It's not ideal what I did, but just controlling the speed, making sure that we do not go too fast, which we are doing now, but we're gonna give it a little bit of a break. Hopefully. This train is extremely difficult to control, so this is definitely not one of your passenger trains, or even not the control cab. Running the control cab on the same route that we're playing, this will be quite a big difference. I don't want to brake too strongly, just to make sure that we do not, that we're able to actually move after that, because I think I'm not sure, but if we stop on the hill, would we actually be able to go again?
Everything has been balanced on service mode and in the scenario so that you are just on the tipping point, so you should be able to get going again. But don't expect it to be a rapid ascent if you manage to stop. What I would say is, if you're in service mode and you find that you think it's getting quite busy, drive defensively, slow down. It's better to keep going up at a sort of a slow rate than to nail the speed limit and then find you've got to stop at a red light, because it'll take you so much longer to get started. So I've been missing some questions. So if you folks want to repost your questions, I will see if I can answer them. Someone said we're going to get pantograph sparks. It's on the long list of things we want to look at. But some people really hate them, so we want to make sure that we do that in a way that some people who like it can have it, and those that don't can turn them off.
No, go. No.
This is the other problem, of course, is that brakes take a while to change. So if you've got the brakes applied, they take some time to release. So you then got to wait.
Yeah, that's okay. At least we didn't go to past the red signal.
This is much better to stop and then proceed rather than fly through the red. Never done that before in my life. Can bankers also provide more tractive effort on braking too? Will they help you slow down? I believe so. Yes, I believe so. 82 Steam, does Lear have freight or is it just passenger? Long Island is just a passenger route. You saw a 143 TS train spotter. Is it in the route? So what happens is that if you've got Roz ignored, that comes to the 143. And Main-Spessart Bahn, there go more cars. Main-Spessart Bahn will actually take some of it, will substitute out some of the trains that it's got, and it will bring in and add extra trains in from Roz ignored. So if you are driving along, then you might see trains in the other direction which are actually held by a 143 or a 185 on the freight trains, or a 143 or a 146 on the passenger trains. And it's sort of a random swap, really. It means you never quite know what's coming in the other direction. And similarly, from your perspective, it means that you can go into the drive menu in service mode, and if you can pick any service that's suitable for a BR143, and you can drive it with a 143 or a 185 or a 146 or and so forth. There's a list of the services that are compatible when you select it. So it's using the substitution system and giving you some of those Roz ignored trains. It actually works the other way around as well. So the 185.2, the Railion livery that comes with Main-Spessart Bahn, will actually now appear in your list for Roz ignored as well. So if you go back and run some Roz ignored scenarios, you'll be able to use that new livery. You'll also see that livery appearing randomly on some of the trains coming in along as AI.
Exactly.
9 to 5 says, is there a chance the 146 will be on RSN as well in the future? So, didn't put that in on purpose because we were told it wasn't appropriate. If it's something that you want to see, make a support ticket and let us know. And let us know what you think it should be doing. Because having fun is probably is really important, and getting what you want out of it, but we also don't want to degrade an authentic experience. So, let us know what you think.
Yes, regarding the compatibility with RSN, you can use 146 on RSN. No, you have to keep so 146 stays on MSB, but you can use 143 on from RSN on MSB.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Droya, any updates on the editor? Nothing yet, I'm afraid. There was a studio update that went out. There was a little bit of news in there, but no, testing is ongoing. Going well, but ongoing. What platform, Hip Harry? It's available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and PC. At the moment, Main-Spessart Bahn is only available on PC, but that will be changing.
Yes, so answering that question, usually we are following our schedule, I would say, between 3 and max 8 weeks between releases, but if you want to get the idea of how long it takes for the console release, just go and look at our previous releases, NTP for example, and any other previous release. That will give you a pretty good idea of how it's gonna be. Yeah, so we're leaving our banking lock right now. We got help from them, so we're gonna be on our own now. Everything fine, I think, so should be able to start now. Yeah, so yes.
Give it some more power. I think the brakes might not have released yet. There you go. There
you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Just needed a little bit more power. Can we actually click?
This is the Lear's. Yeah, I think we are listening. You've got the mouse.
What's the best way to do it?
If you, that's it.
Yeah.
Right, we just missed a bunch of chat because the chat thing stopped moving. That was really handy. So if I'm not asking you, if I'm not answering your questions, please ask them again. That was really nice. Thank you, chat system. That's very handy.
Yeah, we've got 15 more kilometers to go. So
someone asked about will the wagons be available on RSN at some point? Obviously, once the tools are out, you can do what you like. Will they be available in substitution? Not sure at the moment, to be honest. Not sure. That's something we need to look at. The fact that these are goods timing and the other ones I don't think were would present something of a compatibility problem potentially. But stuff to look at there. In theory, potentially.
Matt, regarding the AFB, we can only use it when we are stopped, right? We can only set it up.
I can show you how to turn it on now if you want. There's two different startup procedures for AFB, depending on if you're stopped or if you're going.
Okay.
Right. So if you want to set it up now, you need to bring your throttle to 0. Right, bring your throttle to 0. Right, now bring the AFB lever all the way forward. To maximum. Now you press Control R to toggle AFB. You'll notice the blue tick has appeared. Now bring the AFB lever back where you want it. Okay, and now bring the throttle up. You're now running on AFB.
Amazing. Brilliant. Awesome. No, I don't have to bother with anything. I can... That's actually really handy, because from what I was reading online, I thought that you can only do it from stopping position, but I think this only related to previous locomotives. Can we change it now as well? What's the process for changing it around?
You can change AFB speed anytime you like.
Okay.
And it will just react to it accordingly.
Okay.
Remember, you're limited to 90 kilometers now. Because you're running on a goods timed PCBU train, you need to be limited to 90 kilometers.
Right, okay.
Just to keep under control.
Okay. Thank you.
Will you ever add the ability to control your locomotives in the front separately from the back? I'm not quite sure how you would expect to do that, taste my dust. I mean, there's nothing to stop you. If you don't do banking com, then you could use the Control - + keys, flip to the other cab and operate the controls separately. That would work. It would probably be quite awkward, but it would work. There's nothing stopping you doing that. When we see the editor on your monitors, keep an eye out for news on that. We don't have any update on that, I'm afraid. Will all German trains be available on all German routes in the future? Well, technically, I guess to some extent, where it seems like it's an appropriate thing to do, yeah, why not? We're always trying to find ways to get more routes on all the existing trains on all the new routes as we go. But if there's a train which doesn't run on a route, then it probably won't appear there in the game. That's what people tell us what they would prefer.
Do you want to release a German loco DLC in the future? No, this is the last ever DLC. We will never release any more DLCs in the future. But I think what they're asking... I think
he might be lying.
I think what they're asking about are German trains for this?
Yes, so there's really, really interesting thing. So while we're running down the hill, press the 9 key and let's have a look at the map. Right, so over on the left-hand side, on the west there, is this whole area of the route under a Schaffenberg that you can't get to at the moment. You can walk there if you want, by all means do. It's all fully sceneried up and ready to use. It's all, because it doesn't have electric overhead, so it needs a diesel. Something like a shunter of some sort. So, I guess news for the future.
Yeah. Is the AFB system also limiting our speed?
AFB will try and limit your speed. You might need to help it. You've got an upcoming speed reduction to 120 coming up. That's why you're only running up to 90 per minute. But yeah, you'll notice your yellow, all the yellow on the TE meter. So you're running at maximum TE at the moment, negative. So what you might find is if that's still not slowing down enough, then you might need to actually take more of a control over it. AFB is better with passenger trains than heavy freight trains.
Fair enough. Change the brightness a little bit. Yeah, we'll be looking at destination display later in the next in the next service. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Will the moving vehicles on roads also be on console? Yes, they certainly will.
Guys, tell us if you're playing MSV. Tell us how are you feeling about it. Tell us.
Yeah, tell us what you think, folks.
I mean, it's only been out for a day, so we really want to know how you're feeling about it. If there are any bugs, any problems you find, forum, social media will there. I've created a thread on our official Dovetail forums where you can go and list your issues. So if you see any issues, feel free to go and have a look. And yeah, we're good. Go there and we'll try to help you. But we do have had an update earlier today. I'm a bit confused about all this update thing, but yes, we are addressing some of the things that were there, but so far we haven't had anything game breaking or anything like that. So there's absolutely no problems with the route so far, as far as comfortable playing is going. There were some small issues, but
there were a couple of deployment issues yesterday, which I think people were seeing as problems in service mode. So if you were having problems yesterday, try it now. There was an update. So, Daffy's, you're saying so you don't have to use the trains, that's fine. And if that was just the case, then that would be different. The problem is that if I add it into service mode, it will appear as AI trains as well. At the moment, I can't make it not appear as an AI train. If it was just a question of making it available for the player, that would be a completely different option. So, suffice to say, I'm aware of the limitation, much more so now than I was previously, and we'll be working to see what we can do to solve that later on. Does the cab car have AFB? No, just like the real one. There is a blanking plate that looks like it should have AFB, but in the real ones they don't have AFB, so neither does this one. What about the fact control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aren't working since a long time? So can you press control 2, and 3, and 4, and 4? Oh, I'm sorry, press it again, and again, and again. Right, and control 5. That's that. And press it again. Good. Seems to be working. If you're having a problem, raise a support ticket. Can you change the brake mode between passenger and goods? No, you can't. So they've been set up as goods mode, and the ability to switch between passenger goods is something I'd like to do. Trying to work out how to affect that, really. It looks like we need to scroll this thing again.
Sorry guys, really apologize for this, but not much we can do. Windows having... It's Friday for Windows today.
Question about moving traffic, being added to older routes. It's being looked at. It's being looked at very strongly. There's nothing really to announce. I know that Long Island is certainly one that we've certainly been looking at what we can do there, but I don't have dates or anything firm to talk about yet. But yeah, it's certainly something I'd definitely like to see.
Moving cars again. Oh, they disappeared and then they appeared again. Wow, that's a very long train. It's about 350 meters, isn't it? Altogether.
It's about 30 wagons.
What is the longest train in TSW so far? Is it? I would assume it's one on the CSX.
Yes, probably. Yeah, a long train of Autorax is probably the longest.
I probably it's a very noob question, but I'm just curious. Yeah. Also, I wanted to ask, what do you guys prefer, MSB or RSN, or do you think they're similar? Would be quite interesting to know if you feel that it's a good, it's a complementary update, or it's you more see it as a standalone, or enjoying both of those. So yeah, let us know how we're going on our in our chat.
So, folks, if you've got MSB, what's your favourite bit?
Yeah.
Tell us what your favourite bit is.
Well, for me, it's definitely this one. That's why I'm playing it. Yeah.
I am surprised how much I enjoy the destination boards. I fiddle with those too much.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone who managed to understand what we were doing in our sneak peeks. About 10 days ago, we started releasing sneak peeks for MSB, and I think with the very first one, people couldn't really figure out what was going on. But although it was pretty obvious that it was a hint at destination walls displays working. But I think already by the second sneak peek, people already completely figured out what it was supposed to be. Although, to be fair, we gave her pretty good, pretty obvious hints.
Oh yeah, it was a pretty obvious clue.
I mean, yeah, people on the forums were very quick to realize what we were doing there. So
Saint Aggressor says she's still on Heavy Haul, loving it, got all the DLC, thinks this is an awesome game, thank you for all the work on this. Thank you very much, Saint Aggressor, glad you're enjoying it. Thelonious, can you compare the locos that come with this to the ones on Rules Ignored? The 185.2 is technically the same loco, it's got a different livery. Functionally and setup wise, there's some improvements in terms of light configurations. It's also got the banking com support. We are trying to look at what we can do to put that back on Rules Ignored so it can benefit from it, but it's not there at the moment. But it's intended to be the same loco, just with a different livery. Then the other loco is the 146.2, which is the same family as the 185.2. So when companies make trains, what they want to try and do is create one type of train, one family of train that has lots of spare parts that they can share between them. And so what happened here was this Trax family of locomotives. I've got what that stands for down there somewhere. Here it is. It is the Transnational Railway Applications with Extreme Flexibility. So what this is a range of locos. They do diesel versions, diesel electric versions. There are diesel electric, obviously. There's the overhead electrics like these ones. There's passenger versions, freight versions. There's all sorts of different things that fundamentally look very similar because they've got the same body shell, they've got the same cab. In fact, we're driving a 185. If you look down and to your right, Dimitri, you'll find this 185.2 has even got the white switch which is used for opening and closing doors.
Oh yes.
But it doesn't do anything because the software on a 185.2 on that control desk doesn't know what to do with that switch. It's just there because it's a standard part that they put on those cabs. But what you'll also notice if you look down again is that where the desk light is shining there, where the cursor's looking at the moment, that black area there with switches on it, that module is replaceable. So on the 146.2, that's a different switch layout, which has got door controls and things on it. So it's plug and play. They can change these things around based on the order that comes in. So 146.2 is faster. It goes at 160 kilometers an hour. The maximum speed of this is 140. It's got passenger functionality. It's got destination boards, which this one doesn't have, and some other subtle physics changes as well. So, but it is basically the same family of locomotive. It's quite a clever system they've got there.
It's quite new.
Will the destination boards be available on 143 and the RSN Dostos? Again, something being looked at in the same sort of work package as what we can do about some of the other stuff I've talked about. So yeah. I don't have anything to announce. I'm not making any promises on that stuff, but it's certainly it's certainly something to be desirable. Is there any relationship between this and the ACS 64 model? So, different manufacturer. So the ACS 64 is a Siemens Eurosprinter. So that's closer to a BR189, I think, so or something like that. Or is it a Trax? Honestly, can't remember. There is similarity between the ACS 64, which is built by Siemens, if I remember rightly, and these. I think these are Bombardier. I might be mixing this all up, so I'm sure someone will shout at me and complain in chat if I've got that wrong. Yes, I'm not surprised that you're seeing a similarity there.
Yeah, we're pretty much almost there. So I think what I'm gonna do is start slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, don't underestimate your stopping time.
Because we only have 1.5 kilometers left and we're going very fast. Quite fast. Not very fast, but quite fast.
The destination boards do include destinations for Raw Ignored and Rapid Transit, indeed, sooner, because we figured at some point there's going to be editor tools out there. You're going to want to write a scenario which uses the 146 on any one of the German routes, and we thought it's very easy for us to include those destinations in the list. So we thought we would get them in there now for you. Kevin, you've got all the routes on TSW, enjoying the game very much? Excellent. So what platform are you on, Kevin? What platform are you folks on? It is Bombardier for tracks. So yeah, they are different. But Siemens have a loco which is very similar. They've got the Euro Sprinter. So you've got the ES64 F4, or yeah, F4 I think it is. Looks quite similar to an ACS64. New Jersey Transit actually run trains which again have got a similar style. I think they're closer to a BR101 or perhaps a Trax as well. They might actually be Trax, I think, if I remember rightly. The ALPs. PC, PS4, bunch of PCs. Well, that's Xbox One, Derek, excellent. YouTube people, we've got PC, Xbox, PC, PS4.
I can't believe I've left the AFV system on, and that's why we completely stopped. I was wondering what's going on, why?
You have to wait for the brakes to come on now.
Yep.
One hint for everybody, folks: don't sit on the release state of the brakes. It's very tempting while you're sitting here waiting for the brakes to come off. Just hold the button and leave them in release state. What that's actually doing is overcharging the brakes, which will cause you more problems than it's worth. Leave them in the running state. The running state will release them.
What was it? Say again?
Vectron, that's the one, Fabtiva. Thank you. Sorry?
What was that again about the?
So there's an overcharge state. If wagons get into, if you can get in different levels of air, particularly if you couple and uncouple things.
Yeah.
So what sometimes you need to do is overcharge the brakes to get everything at the same level. But you don't want to do that under normal circumstances because you have to let everything settle back down again. So it can take, you could add a load of time to the amount of time it takes to get the brakes off again. So what happens is that I've seen some people playing the game quite reasonably, holding the brake in released state, which they're expecting is what's hurrying it up and making it release faster. Actually, what it's doing is overcharging the brakes and making it take longer for them to come off.
Right.
You leave it in the running state, and you should be fine. Here we go. I'm told that on the 143 the problem is holding the handle in release, and on the 185 and the 146 there's an overcharge button on the right of the manometer. There you go.
Yeah. Could be a good screenshot. Yeah, we have a screenshot competition running on our forums right now, guys. So the theme for the TSW contest is MSB. So we are waiting for the best screenshot to go into our. We're gonna stop right now, aren't we? Please stop.
Oh no.
Okay. There's emergency. No. Okay, we're gonna stop.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. On. Sees a red light crisis. It's fine. Bradley Cook, PS4 for you.
Yeah, so what we need to do is to uncouple rear 5 tankers, and I think that will be it for this particular scenario. Yeah, while we're running, as I said, we have a screenshot contest running. I need one screenshot that will go onto our loading screens from MSB. That's for TSW. If you if you prefer TS19, there's one. There's obviously another section, another thread called. The theme for it is Deutsche Bahn, so you can submit any Deutsche Bahn related screenshots in there. So we're looking for something, I guess, similar to MSB, but in TS19. But well, it's just a theme of the week, so feel free to go and take part. I've already seen a couple of screenshots in there, so and competition is always very strong, so I suggest that you prepare. Anyway, yeah, we're good. Exchange with onward driver. What station is it? Is it?
This is Law.
Okay, okay. Okay, we're done.
Look at that. Expertly driven.
Perfecto. Okay, so what time is it now?
So what I thought we'd do now, if you pop back to the main menu, before we get into the service, let's just have a quick look at the services, just so I can explain a couple of things about that. Screenshot is incredible.
Yeah.
Lovely job, 9 to 5.
That's from today.
Right, if you go into services, so the way that the service is set up is you'll notice the BR143, you'll notice the BR185 there is showing its original DB livery from Rorzik, but if you click the switch livery button, at the bottom, then you can switch between that and the new Railion one. So if you select the new Railion one for now and click continue, and then you've also click back, sorry, that's it, and then you've got the Doppelstock cab car, and you've got the BR146. Now we'll be driving the BR146 in a minute. While you're selected to that, let's just press continue and go and have a look at what's available for the 146. Click continue. So the 146 has got passenger services. Most of the 146's passenger services are eastbound, with the exception of the ones going to Law, in which case they'll be going westbound out of Gemünden.
Yep.
And you've got a nice range of services there. Like I said, there's probably 60 or 70 passenger services. The Doppelstocks are just the other journeys, so they go the other way as well. So if we click back and have a look at the 185, that one will do. Click continue. So the 185, click continue. So the freight services, they've been broken up. So you notice the numbers there. So the numbering should give you an idea of what to expect it to do. So 83173 is I can't remember exactly what it is. If it begins 83 XXX, then that means it's one of the banked freight services. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If it begins 89, then it's one of the banking light engine services, whether it's... So banker service connection is the one at Laufbach where you pull out the siding and couple up to the back of the train. And then the other 89s, which say Heigenbrücken to Laufbach, those ones are light engines back down the hill again. Mm. So if you scroll along a little bit, you'll find that there's also services which are 88 or 86 somewhere in there. There we go. Yeah, so I've got 86. So for example, that one there. That one is an eastbound service. It's a freight service and it's non-stop. So it's a lighter loco. It can go up the hill on its own, but it's still balanced to be fairly tough for that one. Then 88XX is a westbound, what they call a westbound fast freight. So make sure that you're again you're really careful because you're on your own down those hills.
Yep.
Some of those are heavier than others. Some of them are double headers. Some of them are single headers. Now, if we just pop back to the loco selection again, the last thing I just want to show you is the 143. So if you click on the 143 and click continue, and again. The 143 has access to all the passenger stuff that the 146 can do, and a selection of the freight stuff. So you'll notice DB88110 Gemünden Aschaffenburg is a westbound fast freight service. Now what you'll notice is that this is a cut down list because the BR143, it's not quite the loco that a 185.2 is. It's not got the tractive effort that its bigger brother has got. So there are some services here that are set up with less wagons. And what you could find is, for example, DB88110 is going to be an interesting, possibly tough service for the 143 to do. Probably quite an easy one for the 185 to do. So it gives you can run that service two different ways and sort of experience it with more and less power. So that's just a rough outline of the way that the services are set up. So I'm interested to see what you guys find out, how you get on with it, what you think. Try all different services, a range of different things going on there.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's move to our next, I suppose. We want to give you a glimpse of what 146 looks like since it's new. Time-wise, what are we going to do? Are we going to go for a shorter or a longer one?
Let's go for a Gemünden to Law in the BR146, and then if there's time, we can do the other journey because Gemünden to Law is nice and quick.
9:30, 9:34.
That will not do.
Another one, maybe 10:44. What time is it now? It's 17:26. Maybe something. We have this one.
That will not do.
Yep.
Go for it.
Perfect. Yeah. So we want to show you the destination display. So we will spend a little bit more time in the cab itself. Maybe we'll not be rushing to
Is there anyone
to our final destination.
Is there any way to drive the cab car with 143 on the back? It can happen, XLML, but it'd be a random swap out. So if that's what you want to achieve, then pick the cab car, have a look at the back. If it's not the 143, press restart, and you don't have to do that until you get the train that you're looking for, because you can only pick the one that you're going to drive with.
Yeah, I'm just going to show you some vistas in here.
This is Gamundan. This is the eastern pivot point of the route.
Yes, so as you can see, it's not winter anymore. I don't know. I think we should have spoken how we wanted to give a little bit distinction between RSN being kind of grim, more industrial, and MSB, which is more picturesque, I suppose. Despite being in a quite similar age and being in a pretty much quite similar trains that we're using there, but it still has a very different feeling to it when you're playing, considering the speed especially. Okay, so unlock the doors. The first thing we're going to do is put the master switch forward, and I'm not sure if we need to, but I think we need to unlock this, don't
Yes, you do.
we?
It says unlock doors.
Yes, so this is...
Left, yep.
Yep. And then unlock left.
While we're waiting, shall we set the destination blind up?
Okay, yes, so which one is at the top? Yeah, this one is on the top. So this is destination display. It has to be turned on, first of all. It can be turned off as well. So you have to press this button, H, and there are two modes here. You can either make it...
Use the up and the down arrows.
Yes, so you can either use those arrows or set it up automatically. So obviously we're going to use arrows. Wait, which section? Lower. Yeah. So okay. So we're gonna choose the destination. Actually, no. Let's do it this way. No, as you can see on the screen, we don't have a destination right now here, and now we do. All we need now is to choose the right station. There it is.
And if you didn't know what the right station was, there's a button that's above the up arrow there. If you just click that, the train knows what its right destination is, and it will set it up for you.
There you go, guys. Yeah. So if I choose any other station and just click the destination so it's to be chosen automatically, it does it. So it's really up to you. Okay, let's lock our doors, and we're gonna be moving off soon.
Put some headlights on, yeah. Let's check our signals in front of us. Is that? Oh, it's green. Excellent.
Yeah,
green, yellow.
Good. What else do we need to set up? Pretty much nothing, I suppose. Yep.
Away we go.
Yeah, so this one is going to be a little bit faster, but we're going to... I don't know, it depends on how many changes of speed limits we have. I'm going to try and show you as much as possible of the surroundings. So I'm going to try and set up those cameras now so you can see.
Someone asked earlier on, what's the difference between the Dostos, the coaches in this pack versus the ones in Mersey Ignored? So there are a subtle subclass difference. The interiors are actually where most of the difference are. There's a couple of differences on the exteriors, like vents and things, that I know a couple of people got very excitable about. But fundamentally, they're 4th gen Dostos. They are the same shell, but the interior is different. So I think there's either is or isn't first class seating, for example, in one of the coaches now.
Yep.
So it's more about the interiors than the exteriors.
It's a beautiful train. Yeah, I don't know. Shall we use the AFB now? What was the procedure again?
So you need to put your throttle to 0.
Okay.
And you put your AFB to maximum.
Okay.
You activate AFB, and then you put your AFB back to the speed you want.
Yep.
And then you apply throttle.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
The reason for doing it that way is you want to take power off so that nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
You then want to put the AFB to maximum, because otherwise, if it was at 0, as soon as you turned it on, it would start slowing the train down to stop it. So you put it to maximum, because without throttle, it will have no impact on the train at all. So you apply that, set the AFB to where you want, and then you apply power, and now you're under AFB control.
And I don't know, it's a silly question, but let us know which settings you're playing on, because I'm playing on Ultra every time, and it looks absolutely stunning. This whole route, it's just so beautiful. I mean, on this machine, I think we have resolution, not resolution, screen percentage a bit lower than 200%. I think that's why it looks, for us at least, a little bit slightly choppy. But yeah, if I'm playing on laptop on my home PC, it looks stunning. Yeah, oh my god, this AFB system.
I forget you need to be stopping soon. I've put plenty of brakes on at this point.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. This is this train knows how to. So shall we just yeah, shut down the AFB? Do we actually have to?
No.
Every time, no.
No. As long as the throttle's at 0, AFB won't do anything.
Yeah.
As long as you don't lower the throttle. Obviously, if you lower the AFB down, then it will try and slow the train down. If you just leave it where it is, cut the throttle. Do we use TAA or FXAA? This machine is currently set up with FXAA. Personally, I prefer FXAA. Some people think that FXAA is not smooth enough for them. TAA is very smooth, but I don't like some of the flickering and the blurring effects that it gives. So it's the choice is there. Choose whatever is good to you. My preference is FXAA, and then dial the screen percentage up a bit. I find that gives a really nice, particularly the overhead wires. I think look a lot more defined. Oh. Look at that. Look at that. Should those red numbers display the AFB speed, Dandin? No. The red numbers underneath the speedometer in reality are used to show LZB information. If you look, actually, if you go into the cab and look at the main control screen in front of you, the one in front of you, then what you'll find is if you now press Control R to turn on the AFB, where is AFB actually? Is it at 0? I'll put your AFB to 0. Right, now press Control R to turn on AFB. That's it. So you'll notice that there's a little yellow diamond.
Okay.
If you now move the AFB lever up and down, on the left-hand screen, if you move the AFB lever around, you'll see that diamond. So that's the target speed that the AFB is set to. Those red numbers actually shouldn't even be switching on at the moment. That is a known issue. They related to LZB, not AFB.
Okay, known issue. Yeah. So how are we doing? There's quite a lot of people. I'm not in a hurry, so it's okay if we arrive at our destination a little bit later. We have some time. So
someone said, "Can you change pantographs?" Yes, there's a switch on the back wall that says whether you want it to be front, rear, or automatic.
Which one was it with this one?
I think it's
automatic anyway,
so we'll figure it out automatically.
Yeah, we have 8 kilometers to go, so I think we're just gonna go slowly. I just want you guys to see how we're doing and enjoying the whole route, and hopefully you are enjoying as well. Keep forgetting.
There we go.
Yep. Yeah, I had the AFB on again at 0. Yeah, was there anything else for us to say about this, really?
I don't think so. I've covered the trains,
I think you
covered the route, covered banking.
I don't think you didn't even need, really, this, Matt. Especially considering
I live and breathe these routes.
This something you've been working on for the past quite a while every day, so yeah.
ONST, how do you turn off motion blur? So there's a keyboard control. Control F2 will toggle motion blur. If you press 3 and jump out to the external camera.
Wait a second, so...
Get that one, yeah. We've got a little well to the next stop.
Yeah, I want to set it to something like 50.
Oh, it has to be
maximum. Yeah.
Set it to maximum.
Maximum? Sorry,
yeah.
what do you mean?
Are you turning it on?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to set it to maximum first.
Ah, okay.
Then turn it on.
Okay, let's start again, just in case. Okay, so I'm putting it to maximum, turning it on.
Yeah. The blue light appears. As long as the blue tick appears on the HUD and you get to see the yellow diamond, you can now reduce the AFB to the speed you want it to be at.
Yeah, and not only the blue light, there's a man with a very creepy voice saying AFB to me. Yeah, we're just gonna go on a slow speed so we can enjoy the view. I'm really sorry I interrupted you.
So if you press 3 and jump outside and move the camera to the wheels. So this is something that a lot of people, if they look and they notice it, they see this blurring effect going on with the wheels.
Yep.
If you don't like that, then you can turn it off. If you press Control F2, the whole motion blur turns off. Personally, I prefer. I don't spend a lot of time looking at the wheels, so I don't really notice it. But I find the track doesn't seem like it's moving quite as nicely.
Yeah.
Whereas when you press Control F2, I think it runs a lot nicer. But that's again your choice.
Yep.
That's not a function you can do on console, by the way. The motion blur is always on console.
Oh, what about the train going to tilting a little bit? Is that a feature, or
the train's not actually tilting? It's the track. So it's super elevation on the track that's bringing the train round. So these trains don't actually have a tilt feature.
But I think on the forums I've read that if you're going at a certain speed, your train starts wobbling a little bit. No, or is it? I guess
sure.
Something wrong.
Not sure.
Yeah, I guess that's not the case, but I just wanted to check. That's a lot of questions, a lot of viewers, I think.
Are the destination boards just fixed textures, or have you fully modelled out a system that can light up dots as needed? So they are textures, because it's a really efficient way of doing it. Lighting up dots is not an efficient way of doing it. However, we are looking at sort of a next way of doing what we might do next, which would then perhaps enable you to type in destinations on there, for example. But this was a first cut. Not only the destinations appear on the front and back, you'll notice them on the sides of the coaches as well. Are there things to do at the harbour, Rob Wolf? So there is a whole load of sidings. There's some stuff to see. There's cranes moving around and doing stuff. So there's stuff to see, and there'll be sidings to move wagons around and shunting and so forth at the appropriate time.
You know what? We are supposed to be going very fast here, so I think that's what we should really be doing.
Yeah, go for it. Gun it.
Because, that's one of the features.
7 kilometres, so let's jump it up. You'll get permission to up to 150 and 160 kilometres.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, we can go like turtles, but there are some other trains that are behind us, hopefully, so...
Will the moving vehicles be coming to consoles? Yes, definitely.
That's fast. What is our next? 150 very soon. Okay.
6.4 kilometres, the next stop.
Getting there. Yeah, actually, I think it's I think it's actually good that we didn't show you the whole route, because that's something for you to enjoy.
Is there an in-game screenshot button on PS4 as a control section option says there is? There was, but it doesn't really... what it did is it put the screenshot somewhere that was no use to anybody. So if you want to take a screenshot on PS4, use the share button. Works perfectly well. You can use the share button for taking videos as well. Will the Long Island Railroad get destinations as well? That would be something that would need to be looked at separately. We've got nothing to announce on that one, though. Are there collectible items, Chris? Of course there are collectible items. There are broken fences to fix, there are maps to place, there's about 100 collectibles in total, as usual. Is there a full list of keyboard shortcuts? Yes, Saint Aggressor. You can go into the menu and you can see all of the keyboard shortcuts, and you can even remap them if you want to change them. When you're in passenger mode, can you go both upstairs and downstairs? Yes. You can even operate, inside the Dosto carriages, there's a panel that the guards use to operate lighting and so forth, and even that works. If you do have a play with it, then make sure that if it's your train, you've gone in and you've turned train line power on first. Otherwise they don't do anything because they need power.
How are we doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Will there be a service mode timetable for this route? It's being worked on at the moment, A22 Steam. I need a click again. I've lost the...
Sorry.
You're loving the working destination boards, Electrostar? Excellent. I'm really pleased with them. One thing I really suggest you folks do, by the way, is spawn in a few minutes before an AI service starts and just stand in front of it and watch it.
Yeah.
And then what you'll find is that like the driver appears, the lights set themselves up, the destination board sets up, all the lights appear inside the coaches. It really gives a good feeling like the AI driver is sitting there operating all the buttons and switches. Right, you need to be slowing down.
Agreed. First of all, we disable AFB, and then we're gonna put throttle to minimum, and we're gonna start slowing down right now. But this is a passenger train, so it slows down, you know, quite rapidly. Not right now, but no, actually, these are not yards, right? This is still
meters.
Yeah, those are meters. Because I've been playing with yards all the time, so with the imperial system,
I've switched him over to metric because I knew you guys wouldn't like it if we were running miles per hour.
Yeah, on the German train. Yeah, but this locomotive is very responsive, especially for a noob like me. I mean, that's as I remember myself when preparing. I just had to smash the brake button, and okay. I want the perfect stop. That's not a perfect stop when you just stop randomly.
KK, which game is this? This is Train Sim World. We're showing off a new add-on for it that came out yesterday called Main-Spessart Bahn. This is a German route with trains.
Available now on Steam. Coming to consoles within 3 to 8 weeks, and stop asking all the time. Yeah, not perfect, but good. Is there anything else we should show? What do you think? We still have
well,
some
what you
time.
could do is, if you press the 1 key, and how about you pull the master switch into the neutral position, just so that it's just neutral.
Neutral.
That's it. And press E, and
E?
get out. Yep.
Okay.
And let's get out of the cab and go and have a look at the Dostos. And on the platform.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
And wander down to the Dostos. So someone asked if you can climb upstairs, so let's go in and have a look at Dostos. So if you walk in there, you notice you can walk everywhere around these things. So you can open the door and go in the compartment. You can go up the stairs, have a look upstairs.
Yeah, we'll get upstairs in a second.
So you can walk in. You can sit down on the seats. You've got full access to the carriages.
Hello, madam.
This is where the bicycle rack goes.
If I was actually driving, I would just stand right here. That would be amazing. Just enjoying the view.
Well, the one time I've ridden on the Doppelstock carriages, that was where I sat. The idea was my first time seeing a double-deck coach, and I was just like, okay, this is interesting.
Oh, this one's quite good as well. Okay. Hello.
I need another click.
Oh, come on. Maybe we need to do it like this. Maybe that will help us.
So if you also go down, come round, yeah, this is the Dosto cab, so you'll be able to drive from this cab as well. If you come back to the other end,
can I close the doors from
yes, you
here?
can. You have to take care. Possibly not, because you've left the other cab active.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you head back up, go down and look.
You want to go back to?
If you go up to the other end coach and just walk in the door there.
Here? Or?
In the coach, yeah, in the coach. And look up there, yeah, look up there. So there's the panel there. So if you walk up to the panel, you can open that panel, and you can operate the light coach lights and things from that panel. So
what?
There's even more stuff to fiddle with in here.
I didn't know.
What? Okay. So you can turn the lights on. So
this is mad. Okay.
And don't forget to close the panel.
Oh, heating control to the max, of course.
Which does precisely nothing, but it's a thing to play with.
Okay, anything else here? Okay.
That's it. It was mostly the functionality there was for turning the lights on and off. So yeah, you'll need to go and finish the service now by closing the doors.
Yep.
Then you can deactivate the cab, and then you can, if you want to.
Yeah, I think after this one we should be able to wait a little bit and pretty much jump straight on the next service. Let's lock. We're locking.
Another train coming in, look.
What?
So yeah, AI trains get the destination boards set up as well.
Oh no!
That's right. You can press E and it will take you
Oh,
back.
okay.
So if you use the 8 camera, so that you can go and have.
I just wanted to have a look at this one.
So you can see that one had the destination board set up as well. He'll be heading for Commandant. So what's really cool is that you can use the service mode you can use the destination boards to work out where the trains are going. So when one comes in, you know whether or not it's the one that you want to get on, just like in real life. Awesome animation. Your train tomorrow's not having problems. Please raise a support ticket. I don't know if one of the moderators can just jump a post in there about what the link to the support system. But the support team are dealing with support tickets. So if you raise a ticket, they'll give you a hand.
Yes, our support guy, he is the best. You told me to press 8 and...
I was to fly over to the to look at the destination boards, but we've seen them now, so that's fine.
Okay. Is there anything else that we can look after? Maybe some of the collectibles in here?
Let's go and have a wander around. Let's just abandon this train.
Yeah.
And go and have a wander around.
Yeah, well, let's switch it off.
Switch off the cab, yeah. Put it into off. That's all good. Have you shut the doors already? In which case, just move it into off.
This?
That's it?
Yep. Okay.
That's it.
Perfect.
And we'll just leave this train here.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, put the parking brake on. Yeah, good man.
Okay.
So, let's go, as always, to these stations, there's underpasses and bridges as required.
Exactly.
So let's go and let's have a wander around, see what we can find in the way of collectibles. I must admit, I've not actually gone really looking for them, which is bad on me. There's one, look.
Sorry.
There's the map.
Oh. Ooh.
That's collectible, like that. You'll find a map pretty much at every station, at least one at every station, sometimes more.
Yeah, I remember there was one over there, so we're gonna go and get it. What is it? Yeah, somewhere around here it was. I was trying to go and guess which models of these cars are, or which brands rather. I'm pretty sure this one's Nissan. Somewhere here. No?
No, it's a fence. If there might be a fence somewhere, but.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's just wander around a bit. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there you found the hazard cone. There it is. Look. Nice one.
Yeah, in the future, like, I'm just speculating. 5 years.
There's another map there.
What would you like to see in the game for just walking around freely? What else can we do?
I don't know. What do you want to see, folks? Is walking around. There's collectibles, which are a big hit for some people, and some people just don't care about them, and that's fine. We always thought that would be the way. What things would you like to do when you're walking around? Obviously, you might choose, for example, to stand at a station and wait for trains to run around. Is it something you'd want to be doing while you're waiting for trains?
Yep. Maybe go to work or something like that. Some kind of a real life scenarios.
You want a warning when you're close to one of the collectibles. Yeah, I can see why you're saying that, Red Leader. I think that's not a bad shout, actually. I need another click.
You do? Okay.
Sometimes really hard to find them. Yeah, some of them are really, really subtly placed, and they can be quite tricky, especially if you've never found them before. No, you can't sit in the benches.
I can. Look.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you just crouch, though.
Yeah.
That's cheating.
I got you. What else? There's sand in here. Actually, one thing, probably like a noob question. How do I properly use the sanding on those trains? Do I need to hold it, or because I've tried pressing the button, but I didn't notice much difference. I was trying to use them when it was raining or snowing. I can't really remember, but
you normally use the sand sparingly when you're trying to accelerate or trying to brake, and it's just as you need it is all, and it just makes a bit of a difference as it's.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, what do we have? 1809 is the next, so basically in 1 minute. I mean,
you want to be on the other end though.
Okay. But we're good in terms of everything inside being switched off.
A count of unfound collectibles when at a certain station. Oh, I see. So within a certain area, then sort of say, in this area, there are 3 collectibles left, or something like that. Is that what you mean? That's a good idea.
That's the control cab, by the way, guys.
Yes,
I'm sure if you've played RSN, you've tried this, but...
The control cab is pretty much identical. The way you operate the control cab is very much the same. There's nothing really changed there. All the differences were in the passenger compartment.
Service is scheduled to start at 18
Press
minutes.
S to shout at passengers trying to get on late. Nice. You'd also like an assignment to run a few services in a row like it's your job today. So you can do that, although the game won't actually say to do that. So that's something I'd like to have. Is like what I like to do is chain things together. So I'll go into service mode and run up and down, and then I'll get a passenger to say ride somewhere else, and then I will take that train somewhere, and I'll try and use the timetables when they come out to work out, oh, if I go from here to here and get that one to there, and try and work out sort of 5 or 6 things I can do one after the other.
Shall we try a little bit?
Shall we turn PZB on? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. What?
So if you press, if you look behind you,
Okay.
and press E and walk over to there.
Say again, sorry?
Press E to walk over to the panel.
Okay.
So you want the top right one to turn CIFA on, and then the bottom left fuse switch at the bottom.
Well, one of those?
Yeah.
Oh,
that one
okay.
is PZB. Turn that
my
one
God.
on, and then go and sit down. Stress time, folks.
So we do use both SIFA and... Okay.
Yeah. So what you're looking for is on the HUD. You're looking for, there's like a circle there with a grey bit in exclamation mark inside it on the HUD. If that goes yellow, you press Q.
Okay, I see it, yeah.
And similarly, you see if you look on the middle monitor there, the middle screen, it says DB, above it says T.
T.
Above that, it'll light up and say CIFA. Then you press Q.
Okay, so
that's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you don't catch it in a couple of seconds, because there's no alarm at that point, it's just visual.
Okay.
If you don't catch it, you'll get CIFA or an alarm.
Yeah, demand, yeah.
And you can press Q at that point. If you still don't catch it, well, the train's coming to a stop. Although, if you catch it in time and it's still and you haven't stopped yet, then what will happen is it will start releasing the brakes.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily stop, but because CIFA puts a full service application on, it may be that it'll stop by the time it's finished releasing the brakes.
Okay.
Good. Right. So you are limited to 40 kilometers an hour as you start departing. So release the brakes and get moving. You've got a red light actually ahead of you, so let's hold on for a minute.
Yeah. Where's the headlights?
Headlights are on.
Okay.
If you turn...
Yeah, I'm just looking around.
Okay.
What about the PCB? Or are we gonna get there?
That's what you'll be pressing. That's the page down key. We'll operate that.
Which keys?
When any PZB happens, I'll tell you when they are. Then you press page down to acknowledge
page
that.
down. Okay. So can I press it now just for testing?
You'll get a beep.
Okay. Okay. And this is CIFA, and then this is horn. What's it? 85.
85. So we've turned PZB on. You're in PZB. There's 3 modes of PZB. When it says 85, we're in what's called PZB O, which is the fast passenger train mode. There's PZB M, which is the normal freight mode, and PZB U, which is the heavy freight mode. So as I said earlier on, with the freight trains we were driving, they were PZB U, which is the slower one. And really what that does is it controls how fast you're really allowed to go.
Oh, actually, on the control cap, the destination display is here.
Oh yeah, down there. And you just press that button and we can fix that up.
Okay, so... Oh, drop something. Drop my watch.
This I think is your first time with PZB, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's be gentle, folks. Let's be gentle.
So, okay. So we have both ZIFA and PCB. Is that...
We've got CIFA and PZB switched on.
Yeah.
No, neither. CIFA won't do anything until you start moving. Once you start moving, every 30 seconds that light will come on.
Okay.
And you just have to press Q to stop it. So there's BR143 just arrived on a passenger train, and I guess it's been given priority ahead of us. That one will be going to London as well. No destination boards will be lit up on that one because the BR143 can't do destination boards yet.
Looks like me. Yeah, that's gonna take a while, I guess.
Nope.
No?
He'll be in the station for about 60 seconds and then he'll leave, and then hopefully we'll get clearance to leave after him.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Hmm?
No, nothing.
Okay.
The road wish list. So Tallinn Tartu is the next expansion yet. Yeah, sure. That'll be the most boring route in the world. Just drive to the forest all the time. For like 2 hours or 3 hours. That's not that bad. No, roads in Estonia are really interesting because there are motorways, but they're all one lane. So one lane one way, another lane the other way.
Single carriageway.
So you can't even overtake people. So and they put the speeding cameras everywhere.
Retro Paladinus, does the shunting panel work? It does indeed. I'll try and work out sort out a tutorial because it's not immediately obvious how you make it work. So I will sort that out for you. But yes, the shunting panels work on the Dosto, the 146, and the 185.2. James Stevenson, so if you've got Rosignord or Main-Spessart Bahn, find the manual. You don't even need them to buy it. Obviously, you want to. But if you go to the Steam page, you'll find that in the Steam page for every one of the DLCs, there is a link to go and get the manual.
Yes.
You can go and get the manual. In the manual for Rosignord and MSP, there is a new section that's been written specifically to try and teach PZB. And I've certainly heard a lot of really positive feedback saying they got the hang of it through that tutorial. So have a go at it, read that tutorial. Like I said, the manual, you can just download it now from the Steam page, and that should tell you what you need to know. If it doesn't, drop a support ticket. Tell us what you don't understand.
Alright, this lad over there looks like me. Are we getting the green light?
Shortly. Just got to wait for that loco to clear our section, I think.
Manual, yeah.
9to5 says he made a small tutorial on the forums. I'm assuming you mean the Dovetail forums, 9to5. So maybe folks can go and have a look at that in the meantime as well.
To be fair, I looked at the forum, at the manual. It was a bit confusing. If I was a completely new player, it was slightly confusing because there's a quick start guide for each of the locos, but it's not really exactly usable in any of the scenarios or services because you're not really giving. Okay.
There you go.
You're not really giving any, completely stopped. Okay, you're right. I'm gonna focus on PCB right now. Okay.
Right. So if you bring the camera back so that you can see the cab properly, so you want to be able to see what's going on that centre screen while you're driving. So release the brakes and get going, and what you'll find is that 85 starts flashing. Brakes first.
Wait. I released.
Oh, sorry,
Right.
I forgot. I know what you need to do. You need to switch that key. There's a key there on the bottom right. That's the brake key.
Yeah.
What that does
controls the control cab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, now you find that the brakes are off and you can put some power on. Right, so I'm sure the brakes haven't come off there.
Okay, let's double check everything.
Usually means
I
that
do have
something's
power though.
off in the other cab.
Yeah, probably.
Put your brakes on for the time being.
Yeah, probably.
Just so that we don't have a runaway train. Not that that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Oh, the doors are open. That's why. That's the door interlock. So you got in. So you want to. Which one did you do?
I'm not sure. So
Do I do an unlock right? Because you climbed in one of the doors essentially. So you. So if you need to do a.
Okay. Like, can we do this and then unlock, and then lock?
So you can't. You have to wait for them to finish the instruction.
Yep.
They'll do it. So wait for the doors to close. Hopefully you'll find the brakes and they'll come off. No, they're still not come off. So on the outside.
Maybe I didn't close something while I was leaving. Do you want to go around the train and just see if everything's...
Let's have a look.
100 might be on. I think... Oh, the parking brake is in the 146 is set. I've set the parking brake.
You've set the parking brake. That's not going to help, is it?
I'm sorry.
Let's just have a quick look at the parking brake then. You're all diligent and doing the right thing, and
yeah, exactly. I wasn't expecting us to go, but anyway.
So parking brake is now off. I won't have helped anything at all.
Alright. Thanks, guys, in the chat.
Just get brakes now. Still don't get brakes. It's just cheap.
I can't believe.
Right, we're on the other cab. That is set to off. Our AFB needs to be off. Take the throttle off. That doesn't matter. That's in release.
I bet it can be fixed with a hammer. I had one. Yeah, just smash all the buttons and we'll see if that helps.
Right.
Yeah. All right. If I was myself, I would just restart. If I was on my own.
Right.
Okay.
Remember that you're limited to 40 kmh, and what you'll notice is that PZB, the 85, is now flashing.
Okay. So
and that's what it's a monitoring state. No, not yet.
Okay.
All you need to do is what that flashing means is you're in monitoring state, and you need to you're limited to 40 kmh.
Okay.
If you exceed 40 kmh, you'll just put all
so
the
you
brakes
have
on.
to actually know what each of those things mean before you actually.
Well, actually, on this train, it's quite handy because it does say limited to 45 kmh.
Verstehen.
So, right, cut your power. Right, so green yellow signal. Green yellow signal means proceed at a reduced speed. In this case, it's 40 kmh. So we carry on. You don't need to acknowledge it because it's a stop signal. So we carry on at 40 kmh limit. Now, the signals, when they give you indications like that, will not affect the speed on the HUD. Press Q. They will not affect what you see on the HUD. So you'll see the speed limit is still showing 100 kilometers an hour. So you need to follow the signal ones because you know that's what they do. The manual tells you what all the speed limits are. Sometimes you'll find that there's a speed on the signal itself, like a 7, and that would mean 70 kilometers an hour.
What?
It's all in the manual. Essentially, they divide the speed by 10. So if it says 15, it means 150.
Okay.
Press Q.
Oh, Q. Zifa. Okay.
That's it. Right, so we've stopped monitoring now, which means you can speed up to the limit.
Okay. Looks good. Zifa.
Yep. Keeps you on your toes. Turn C for a PCB on. Learn how to do it. It's amazing how much it adds to the driving experience. Incredibly frustrating to get started with, but once you get the hang of it, it's amazing how much it adds. I didn't see what that signal was. This might end badly.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Press Q. If something was going to happen, it would have happened by now.
So when PCB?
Yeah, if there was something on that signal that you needed to respond to, then you have a limited number of seconds to respond.
So ideally I would have to turn off all of these, right? So because otherwise I just cannot see what's going on the, you know, kind of signals.
Ideally, yeah. If you want to go full hardcore, you turn you turn all the helpers off, but you can still get a bit. So that's saying greens with 1-3. So that's saying it from that signal is 130 kilometers an hour speed limit. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a problem with the brakes. I'm not going to worry about it for right now.
Okay, I'm speeding, yeah? Because it was 130, wasn't it? Or...
Yep,
okay.
130 is our limit. Right, what this signal is showing us is, again, green 130.
Can we use the AFB system with this, or is it?
There's no AFB on a Dosto.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right, so the high speed line actually is now going off to the left. We've come off to do the loop round to Gimundon, and the high speed line goes off to the left, and then the next destination on that line to the left, which is the tunnel, the bridge that we're going under now. That's the high speed line, and that goes off to Würzburg.
Right.
What we're doing is we're taking the slow line to Würzburg. Essentially, they both end up in the same place, but eventually. But this is the line that goes via Gimundon.
Interesting. Oh, I didn't hear. Yeah, interesting. So basically, looking for signs and just knowing what they are supposed to be, you know, indicating for us, and then also not forgetting about Ziffel every once in a while, and you become a train driver in Germany.
So green with a white dot is a repeater signal, and that's telling us the next signal is green, which you can see it is. The little white dot in the corner, either, depending on some of the other panels that are up on the signal, either means the next signal is closer than expected, or it means that so that yellow board meant we were at a limit of 110 at the next speed reduction we were coming up to. Or it means that it's a repeater and it's telling you what the next signal indication is.
Brake overcharge? What does that mean? Is it any relevance to us? Because someone...
It's because the brakes are dragging. Actually, the brakes haven't properly released. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't worry about it for the time.
Okay. So
keep it simple. Someone else can replace the brakes later on. Let's try. Yeah, you should be able to just press that. That's it. The brakes have come off.
Okay.
So just be careful because now you're speeding.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh.
Going green again. That's a VOR signal. That one's fine. It's nice running along with the cars, though, isn't it? That's quite cool.
Yeah, it is. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing, really, but it's fun. It definitely adds a new layer because you're not just like a robot, you know, just going forward and yeah, definitely adds something. What does that mean? Let me guess. This means 50 kilometers.
Nope, that just means expect a green signal.
Okay.
And there it is coming up. Right, this one needs acknowledging. So start putting your brakes on a little bit. Press Q. Right, and when you go past it, you'll need to acknowledge it. So I'll tell you when. Now. Release. That's it. So we've got 1000 hertz on. And you can release. You need to basically, that green yellow means we need to expect a slow reduction. So in about 800 meters, we need to be 40 kilometers an hour. Sometimes you'll get a green yellow with a number, and what that's saying is that the next signal you need to be doing that number. Yeah, but since there was no number, it means 40. So you're stopping here anyway. So if you go ahead and put your brakes on and get ready to stop, don't forget CIFA.
Yeah, it's reminding me, so that's good at least.
Got so much more to think about with CIFA and PZB. It's
This is more difficult than a steam train. No, seriously. At least in a steam train, I'm enjoying it. This is very difficult. Oh,
right,
I don't even know what to say. That's pretty hardcore. I guess if you like get a hang of it, it's very easy, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wouldn't say it's ever easy.
Yeah,
but you get to the point where you're confident and you can drive along with it. But even I make mistakes all the time with it, and I know how it works. So
yeah. Do we want to continue? Or?
I think we probably need to call time on it now. Actually, yeah. Given the time.
Yeah, it's 6.
So.
Yeah, it's 10:06. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, that we are not going to continue to the end of this particular service. But I mean, we've played free. We've seen almost everything, but at the same time, we didn't show you the whole route, which is up to you to explore. Yes, if you like what you saw, there's I think there's plenty of information that Matt has given you. Obviously, I was just driving as a dummy as usual, but yeah, thank you very much, Matt.
I think Dimitri did superb. Just get a round of GGs for Dimitri. Awesome job.
Yeah, thank you very much for having time to really be with us today, Matt. I think it's very important. Yeah, guys, if you like it, go to our forums or go to Steam and get it. If you don't, I don't know, do something else. It's Friday. It's a great day. It's time to relax. If you're watching in Europe, it's already evening, so we wish you the best weekend. We're gonna see you on Monday. We have our next stream in 2 weeks.
2 weeks time.
Yes, unfortunately, it will not be next week. There's not much to show you. But yeah, we're again very sorry for having you to come a little bit earlier than we initially said. We had to change it last minute, so I'm really sorry for that. But those are the circumstances. We were extremely busy in the past couple of days, and
don't worry, folks. Console version's coming as soon as possible.
Yeah. As I said. Anyway, yeah. Thank you very much, Matt, and we hope you enjoyed, guys.
Alrighty, thanks a lot, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.